This conference will now be recorded.
In the last session, we were talking about basic fundamentals related to business process or company organization process. There we understood the whole objective of any organization or any business is to make profit. And from there, when we drilled down, we came to know that, okay, to make profit, you need sales. And what you're going to sell, you're going to sell products and services or goods and services. These goods and services or products, you either have to manufacture it or you have to purchase it from outside. To purchase it, you cannot just like that spend the money. You need to have some control over the money or on your expenses, whatever you're spending. For that, we understood you need to have some control. To have this control planning and all, we came to know that okay, for this purpose, there is a module called CO, which is nothing but controlling, in short, cost and management accounting as per our academics. And finally, you understood that okay, if I want to control money, first of all, I need to have money to control. When I'm controlling my money, cost, expenses, and all, I need to have what is my funds, what are the available funds and all. To do it, you have to need or you need to work with financial accounting or finance module, in short, FI module in SAP terminology, accounting in our academic language. And to do all these activities, you need staff, employees, which is taken care by your success factor or human capital management module in SAP. Now, these are the things is what we understood. Now, let us come down. And from the above extract, we were talking about two specific modules here. First one is your FI, second one is your CO. When you're talking about FI, we are specifically representing about financial accounting module. Similarly, when we're talking about CO, we are representing controlling module. FI is nothing but financial accounting. This is in short your accounting. Okay, controlling is nothing but cost and management accounting. Those who are from the accounting background or commerce background must be aware of it. Because in your accounting, in your academics, you would have studied about financial accounting and also about your this one, cost and management accounting. These are the two modules. This is your controlling, this is your financial accounting. Now, within this financial accounting, within this cost and management accounting, we have some other modules or sub-modules or sub-components within the accounting, sub-components within cost and management accounting or within controlling as per SAP functionalities. Meaning, according to SAP FICO module, this financial accounting, cost and management accounting are sub-classified into several additional subdivisions. Now we need to understand how this is subdivided into multiple submodules. Let us make a list now. Here, first thing, I'm not writing everything. Whatever is more important, only those points we will be writing. The additional points we will be discussing in our regular sessions. First point is your general ledger. Second point is your accounts payable. Third point is your accounts receivable. Fourth point is cash accounting. Fifth point is bank accounting. Sixth point is your asset accounting. And seventh point is taxation. And then eighth point is FI, MM, SD, PP, PS, and HCM integration. Okay, this integration. And on the other side, when you come to controlling side, here also you have different other modules. First one is your cost elements or cost element accounting. Second one is cost center accounting. Third one is internal orders. Fourth one is profit center accounting. Fifth one is product costing. And then sixth one is profitability analysis. These are the submodules when we talk about controlling module, and these are the submodules when we talk about financial accounting or FI module. Now from this, what we need to make sure is, we need to make sure first of all we are aware of these fundamental submodules before we know what is what inside each of the submodule. At high level, when somebody is asking what is there in FI, what is there in CO, in short, what are you going to learn in SAP FI CO module? Make sure you're at least aware of these things. Don't talk about the configuration step. Instead, you have to talk about these fundamental points. These are the submodules within FICO from both FI point of view as well as from the CO point of view. Now from here, there are certain modules which are important. There are certain modules which are optional. When I say important and then optional, we are keeping in our mind as a FICO consultant only. When you treat yourself as a FICO consultant in any organization or in the market, it is not necessary that you have to be thorough with all the modules. You don't have to be thorough with all the submodules. Even if you are thorough with at least 60 to 70% of the modules, but it is sufficient. Remaining modules, you need to have a basic high level understanding. When I say basic high level understanding, if somebody is asking what do you mean by GL, don't tell that I do not know because I have not worked on GL. Instead, you should talk about something related to GL module, functionalities of GL, how GL is used in any organization, what you will do as a consultant. Similarly, accounts payable, receivable, cash accounting, asset, all these areas, you should have minimum basic functionality understanding. When we talk about minimum basic functionality understanding, nobody will accept if you say, I don't know this. Nobody will accept when you tell, I do not know this. Instead, you should tell, I know what it is, but I have not worked on it because in my previous project, in my previous assignment, I was not given any opportunity to work on these areas. When you're telling no, you should know how you have to represent your no. Don't just like that tell I do not know, I have not worked on it. Instead, you need to represent in such a way that you are aware of this functionality, you know what happens in it. It is just that in your previous project or in your previous assignments or in your previous organization where you were working, you were not given any opportunity to work on these areas. That is the reason you do not have any practical experience on it. But yes, given a chance, you can work on it as you are aware of the functionality, you know how and what you have to do as a consultant in it. In short, there is no scope or there is no way that you say that no, I don't know this, I'll skip this, I'll skip this. No possibility. Straight away that option is ruled out, take out from your mind. On all the areas, whatever you see on your screen, you must have minimum understanding on it. And when somebody is asking, when somebody is giving you a question, or when somebody wants to listen from you, make sure at least you talk some minimum fundamental basics in such a way that the other person will accept it. Right? Apart from this, there are many other small topics which I'm not writing at this moment. I'm only writing the high level topics which you must know from SAP FICO point of view. Now, if you look at all the financial accounting, more or less everybody is aware of all these points, all these fundamental, other than integration. Other than integration, point number 1 to point number 7, everybody must have heard these points in your academic accounting or somewhere or the other, wherever you came across accounting so far, you must be familiar with either general ledger, in short it is GL, Accounts payable, in short, it is AP. Accounts receivable, in short, it is AR. In short, let me write. GL we usually represent as GL. Those who are not talking, please go on mute. Accounts payable, we represent this with AP, also represented by P2P. Somebody would have said, I'm working on P2P, procurement to payment, this kind of a thing is all related to accounts payable activities. Similarly, you may call accounts receivable as AR. This is basically O2C, order to cash. Cash accounting, so this can also be represented as CM, cash management. But this cash management is not represented from FI point of view. It is represented from your FSCM point of view. In short, there is a module called FSCM, Financial Supply Chain Management. From this financial supply chain management, cash is extended. When you're talking about cash extension in financial supply chain management or FSCM, you have a dedicated submodule called CM or cash management there. There you have in detail, in-depth cash related accounting, wherein you can talk about the cash flows and all. But from the FI point of view, it is the basic cash accounting. And when you're talking about bank accounting, you have something called bank account management, or you can also call BCM, Bank Communication Management. These are again from the perspective of your FSCM module. In the FSCM, you have Bank Account Management or Bank Communication Management, which will talk in detail, in depth related to your banking, where you talk about DMEs, all these kind of things are handled in detail, in depth in your FSCM. But from the FI point of view, this is covered to some extent only. Banking is completely not covered in FI. Banking is covered completely in FSCM module with a functionality called BAM or BCM. Next one is your asset accounting. This is basically represented as AA. Using asset accounting, you can valuate all your fixed asset. This is straight away FI related. Taxation, this is basically taxes. This taxation is of two types. One is your direct taxation, another one is your indirect taxation. In short, sales and purchase taxes plus withholding tax. These two type of taxes are handled in your taxation module. Last one is your FI with integration, FI with ST integration, FI with PP integration, FI with PS integration, FI with HCM integration. At the same time, FI with CO integration also. In short, your FI module is integrated with various other modules. Wherever there is a monetary impact, wherever there is a financial impact, accounting impact, the other module is going to put some accounting impact, some financial accounting entry in your FI module. That's where you represent integration, meaning some activity is performed in the other module, which is resulting debit credit in your accounting. It can come from your FI side directly, it can come from MM side, ST side, PP side, PS side, PM side, HCM side, or CO side. Okay, data is exchanged between two modules is what we represent as integration between two modules. This is where you talk about system integrations or cross-functional or cross-module. Cross-functional, cross-module system integration is all related to your integration between two modules. One is your FI, other one can be any of the other module which is listed here. Okay, similarly on the controlling side you have cost element, you have cost center, internal order, profit center. Now these four whatever I am highlighting, can be taken as FI module. When I say can be taken as FI module, we are representing these modules are part of FICO curriculum. When I say these are part of FICO curriculum, we mean to say that all these functionalities, all these modules are mandatory for every FICO consultant, meaning no exception. You cannot call yourself as a FICO consultant if you do not know all the highlighted green areas. Whatever the topic is covered, highlighted as green area is mandatory for all the FICO consultant, for all the FI consultant. If you do not know the green highlighted areas, you cannot be called as a FI consultant also. You cannot be called as a FICO consultant also. Reason, in order to record any accounting entry in FI, FI is all about accounting. In accounting, it is all related to financial accounting, in short, debit credit accounting entry. Now remember, in SAP, without the cost object, in SAP, without the cost object, you will not be able to record any accounting entry. If you do not have the basic cost object in SAP FI, you will not be able to record any accounting entry in FI. Meaning, your cost object can be cost center, or it can be an internal order, or it can be a profit center. Either cost center or profit center is by default mandatory for every debit, every credit that you are posting in SAP. Every debit, every credit that you are posting in SAP, either cost center or profit center becomes mandatory. Without these object, your accounting entry cannot be completed. You need to keep in your mind how system is recording accounting entries. At the end, your FICO is all about posting debits and credits, basic journal entry until the final balance sheet. Right from the journal entry until the balance sheet, we need to make sure we are comfortable with the system, basic accounting, and this accounting representation in SAP FI. When you're able to understand, when you're able to relate these points, it will make more meaningful, it will be more easier for everybody to understand. If you are skipping accounting fundamental, if you're not looking it from the SAP point of view, at the same time from the business point of view together, you will not understand SAP FICO anything. If you're only looking at from the SAP FICO point of view, wherein you will maintain the configuration step, you will create a different accounting entries, reports and all, you will be able to do it on the system. When I say you will be able to do it on the system, it is kind of a user activity. When we say it is kind of a user activity, the way end user is working, in the similar way, you are also practicing as a consultant. The way end user is working, in the similar way, we are also practicing as a FICO consultant. That is not an expected thing. When we say that is not an expected thing, as a consultant, you are supposed to understand the business process. As a FICO consultant, you are supposed to understand business process related to what? Related to these green highlights, related to the blue highlight. All the green highlight is mandatory for every SAP FI consultant or every SAP FICO consultant. The blue highlight, whatever you have, is mandatory only for CO consultant. You can tell, or you can call yourself as a FI consultant or FICO consultant, one and the same. Whether you represent yourself as I worked only on FI, I don't have any experience on CO. Usually you hear people telling I have not worked on CO. Usually people will tell I have not worked on CO or I worked only on FI. This is because they know what is exactly FI, they know what is exactly CO, they do not know what is exactly FICO. There is nothing called only FI. There is nothing called only FI because, as I mentioned, without creating or without updating any cost object, in short, either cost center or profit center or internal order, either cost center or profit center or internal order or cost element. It is practically not possible. If any of this is not used or if none of this is used, your accounting entry can be posted. If I am skipping the green highlights 4 points from the controlling side, I will not be able to record any debit credit accounting entry in my SAP. When your debit credit is not possible, your accounting is not possible in SAP, meaning your FI is dependent on CO to the extent of cost element, cost center, internal order, profit center. As a FI consultant, you must be aware of all these 4 areas. That is where you are representing yourself as you are a FICO consultant. FI, these are the areas that you can handle. CO, these are the 4 areas that you can handle. Now, when you call yourself as a CO consultant, there is a dedicated CO consultant in the market. When somebody says I am a CO consultant, I am exclusive CO specialist and all, then they are telling we are more focused on product costing. We are more focused on product analysis, profitability analysis. In short, COPA. This COPA is currently represented as margin analysis in S/4HANA releases. Earlier we call it as COPA. Now the COPA is represented by margin analysis also. So these points you need to slowly understand. Now here, when you're talking about this different submodules within FI, within CO, we need to make sure what are these basically, how the entries are being processed. At the end, everything is connected to accounting only. When I say at the end, everything is connected to accounting only, make sure, let me come down here. At the end, we're talking everything is connected to accounting. When we say everything is connected to accounting at the end, we need to make sure, we need to make sure these accounting fundamentals are clear to us. When you're not clear about accounting fundamentals, or when you're not able to understand what is accounting and all, there's no point we learn SAP FICO. Because at the end, tomorrow when you're working on SAP FICO, it is all related to accounting. Accounting from a business point of view, not from the academic point of view. Business accounting is different, academic accounting is different. Though they are working, though they are similar in objectives, but the whole idea of doing or working practically on accounting in any organization is different. On the same accounting, whatever you learned, whatever you practiced, prepared for your academics is different. Meaning, if you are able to understand, relate your basic accounting, whatever you did in your academics, it is easy for you to relate practically with your academic accounting to industry accounting or any organization related accounting. If this is not clear, if we are having a confusion, you are not able to understand here, practically you are not going to understand SAP FICO, and when you are in the interview, you will start facing the difficulties. When you are in a project, you will start facing difficulties, because in the interview, they will be asking you different questions. Majority we represent as logical questions or scenario based question. You will be questioned logically or scenario based. Now, to understand scenario, you need to understand business process. If you are able to understand business process, scenario, it is easy for you to understand, relate, and then explain. If this is not possible, forget about giving the answer. We don't even understand the question. This is most common for most of the people. Keep these points in your mind right from the beginning. Secondly, when you're in any organization, meaning assuming you got an opportunity to work as a FICO consultant, you joined a client. You joined a client, let it be any kind of implementation, let it be any kind of support, any kind of rollout, or any kind of migration. It can be any kind of project, implementation, support, rollout, migration, or upgradation, any kind of thing. As a consultant, meaning as a FICO consultant, you are supposed to communicate, talk, discuss, interact with the client. When you're talking about the client, you're talking about the client end user, client management, and all. When you have to talk to your client, when you have to talk to your user and their manager, or the people who are at a higher positions in their accounting, maybe assistant manager, finance controller, finance director, or in some cases, CFO. And as a FICO consultant, when you need to interact with these people, right from your end user until CFO, you may have to talk to anybody, depending on the requirement, depending on the situation, what you are going to talk to them, what they are going to talk to you, whether you can manage it or not. It's easy when you log into SAP, doing the configuration, creating a setting, posting an entry, generating a report. It's very easy. Anybody can do it. Even a fresher also can easily manage on these areas, but that is not what organization wants. That is not what organization wants, or the market requirement. Market requirement or any organization requirement is to make sure if I take you as a FICO consultant, I need to make sure you can handle my client more than my accounting. When I say more than my accounting, your accounting, whenever you talk, you're representing FICO module. You managing your FICO module, managing your accounting is offline. When I say it is offline, you're going to sit in your office, you're going to sit at your home, you will work on it. Nobody is coming and seeing what you're doing when you're working, because it is completely offline. Why it is completely offline? Because you're working on your work, or you're creating accounting sequence and all in your SAP FICO based on something called business process or business requirement. You're working, you're doing everything based on the business process or based on the business requirement, and you are the one who need to collect this business process or business requirement. You should not think about a scenario where you feel that in my project my senior consultant will be there, my lead will be there, my project manager will be there, they will talk to the client, they'll get all the information, they will share it with me, I look at the document, I do the configuration. Don't think from that perspective. If you're thinking from that perspective, you're wrong. You have to always consider you are working in a project wherein you are responsible for collecting the business process, understanding the business requirement, and accordingly you're going to create the setup in SAP. Always consider from this perspective, then only you will start thinking in a right way. Otherwise, you feel that okay, it's okay, I don't have to do this because senior consultant will work on it, lead will work on it, project manager will work on it, solution architect will work on it, they will give us the document. Based on that, we will do the configuration. Don't think that this is what is going to happen. This is not going to happen because you are not a fresher. When I say because you are not a fresher, you are telling that you are an experienced candidate in SAP FICO for around 3 to 4 years or 3 to 5 years of experience. When you're representing yourself as a experienced candidate of 3 to 5 years, please make sure you manage that level of knowledge, you manage that level of understanding. Meaning, on all the areas, whatever we listed on the top, on all these areas, whatever we listed on the top, make sure you can easily talk, you can easily communicate, you can easily understand what your client is talking. It is not that GL means I know the definition of a GL, I know the configuration steps of the GL, I know transaction code to post a GL entry, I know the transaction code to create the GL account, I know the transaction code to run the GL report. Not going to work out. That is not going to practically work out. No matter how many hours you practice, how many days you practice, how many years you practice, that approach will never make you a successful consultant. Right? You need to make sure on every project, wherever you're assigned, wherever you're working, once you get the job, you need to make sure on all these areas, high level understanding is very, very important. When we say high level understanding is very, very important, on every business process, you will be able to at least relate something practical. When I say relate something practically, please make sure when somebody is talking about GL, you should know what is GL, what happens in GL. Accounts payable, understand what is accounts payable, what happens in accounts payable. Accounts receivable, what is accounts receivable, what happens in accounts receivable. Cash accounting, bank accounting, asset tax integration, what are all this? What is happening there? Why I need to work on it? What I need to work on these areas? How I will get work? Do I need to practice like I practiced in my learning? When you're learning, what you will do everything bits and pieces in a sequential order. When you're in a project, is it what going to happen? No, never. The way you practice in your SAP FICO learning is not going to happen in your SAP project because this is your learning. Your training SAP FICO logic, mindset, thought process is different. Your practical SAP FICO consulting, mindset, thought process, business process, sequence is completely different. If you're thinking, if you're learning, keeping only SAP FICO training in your mind, you will be a trained candidate. You will talk like a trained consultant. But if you wanted to be like a SAP FICO consultant, if you wanted to talk like SAP FICO consultant, right from the beginning, you have to have a different thought process. Only then it is practically possible for you to create an impact, otherwise not possible. Anybody can easily find that no, you do not have any experience, you are a trained candidate. Because what you're talking is representing, not what you're telling. Whatever you're talking is clearly representing. You do not have any practical exposure, you do not have any practical experience, you have only the training environment knowledge. These things will be revealed when you talk. Please make sure these points you will eliminate. right from the beginning. It's not so easy for you to remove it. Today I came to know, by tomorrow everything will be set. It will not set. It will take some time. When I said it will take some time, approximately 2 to 3 months time you'll have to invest. Only then you will start understanding. It's not you will understand in 2 to 3 months. In 2 to 3 months, you will start understanding. Your understanding practically begins after 2 or 3 months only. Your understanding of SAP FICO practically begins after completing 2 to 3 months. Till then, you will not understand, because when you are talking about a particular topic, that is first time for you. That is first time for you. Some topics will have to be completed. When I say some topics will have to be completed, some major topics related to total business process must be covered. Only then you will be able to relate, okay, I created this setting at the beginning. I created entries like this at the beginning. I created entries in between like this. Now towards the end, oh, this is my end point. This is my end result, what my client is expecting, what I am supposed to fulfill. Then you'll be able to relate, okay, this is the full picture of SAP FICO. These are the reasons that I need to do like this. I need to ask this question. I'm getting this error. I need to talk to the other different things. Whatever you studied in your first 2 to 3 months, you will be able to understand after 2 to 3 months only. Till then, no doubt will strike your mind, no confusion will come into your mind. You feel that it is very simple, it is very easy. If it is very simple, if it is very easy, why everybody is not getting SAP FICO consulting job even after completing the course, even after practicing for a long time? Meaning, there is something hidden there. Something is hidden there, that is nothing but your business process. The hidden point is nothing but business process. If you are able to talk keeping business process in your mind, if you are able to talk keeping business process in your mind or considering business requirement, the way you talk is completely different. The way you talk is completely different. Whosoever you talk to, they will be happy with you. Whosoever you talk to, they will be happy with. And make sure these points you keep in your mind right from the beginning forever. Right from the beginning, these points are supposed to be kept in your mind forever. Otherwise, these things will put you in unnecessary troubles wherever you go. In your interview, you will find it difficult. In your project, you will find it difficult to talk to your friend, to talk to anybody, you will find it difficult. So you don't want to get into a situation where you call yourself as a FICO consultant. When somebody is asking something related to SAP FICO subject, you will start feeling uncomfortable because you're unable to understand, you're unable to convince. This is quite common because we are all lacking business process, business requirement logic. If you have business process, business requirement logics with you, it's easy to talk, to communicate with anybody, even on the topics that you have not worked with before. Even on the topics that you have not worked with before, you can easily manage because you can relate it with the business process, you can relate it with business requirement. As long as these points you can fulfill, you can meet, you will not face any problem, any challenges wherever you go, either in your interview or in your project tomorrow, because this is what people want from you. When you know, when you realize what is expected from you by the market, accordingly, if you enhance your skill set, you don't have to worry about anything. Otherwise, what will happen? We end up practicing, focusing only the configuration part. This will put us in a trouble everywhere you go. As I repeatedly mentioned, configuration is not going to help you in future, either to clear your interview or to get positive feedback, or to get positive impact in your project. For both the things, configuration is not going to help, because configuration anybody can do it provided you have the config step. Provided you have a material, you have a document, anybody can do it. All you need is system operating skill set. If you are able to operate MS Office, Internet Explorer, in the similar way you can operate SAP FICO. You know, you should know how to use mouse, how to use keyboard, how to look at the screen, where to click, what to type. Enough. Anybody can do it. Anybody who can operate the computer can operate SAP system. But how to operate SAP system, how to think, how to guess, whether this is going to work out, this is not going to work out. If there is a problem, where to go, how to check, what to check, is something that is a consulting skill. This consulting skill is what you have to keep. And to gain this consulting skill, you should have different mindset, different approach right from the beginning. Overnight, these are not going to happen. When I say overnight, these are not going to happen. For first 3 months, I will practice only on the configuration. Towards the end, I will sit and understand how these are supposed to happen from a consulting point of view, consulting skill set, real time project and all. That is practically not going to make any difference. Why that is not practically going to make any difference? Reason, right from the beginning, you are used to, you are habituated to practice everything based on the configuration, based on the note, based on the material, based on the presentation, whatsoever. And even when you are practicing, you are looking at configuration document, you are looking at any material, you are looking at a recording and all, only then you are able to do it. Meaning, if it is ABCD there, you are also writing ABCD. If it is 100 there, 100 here. While posting, you post entries, but you don't know why you are posting the entries. Just like that, you are posting the entries. Nobody knows, including you, why you are posting the entries, why you are practicing, on what basis you are practicing, what entry you are recording, what is your expected result. Nobody knows. And who is configuring? You are configuring. Who is posting? You are posting. And who is supposed to know? You are supposed to know. You are not aware. This is quite common for most of the people. Don't be with that mindset. Anything that you are doing in your company code, meaning when you are practicing, when you are relating, when you are preparing, make sure whatever you are doing, you are aware of it. If you are not aware of it, ignore it. Know only the basic fundamentals and then ignore it. Say that no, I have not worked on this. Tell that you have not worked on that area because you found it difficult. You don't have to be thorough with everything, but it is required. You have to be aware of everything almost, but on selected areas, you have to be very comfortable. You have to be very strong. You decide after knowing all the topics, which topics are giving you more comfort, and on those areas you prepare. Now, when you're talking about which topics are giving more comfort, there are three topics which you should not talk about, your comfortable areas, your strong areas. One is your GL. GL is something that you should never tell. You worked only on GL, APAR. These are the three things that you should ignore it. When I say ignore it, no exception. You have to be thorough with these three modules. GL, APAR is mandatory for everyone. GL, APAR is mandatory for everybody. There is no way that you tell I am good at GL, I am good at AP, I am good at AR. The opposite person is also good at understanding what is your background. The moment you tell I am good at GL, AP, AR, the other person is also very good at understanding, guessing what is your background, from where you are coming. In short, to whosoever you are talking, you are representing that you have SAP FICO experience, you are a SAP FICO aspirant, consultant. Please talk something other than GLAPAR, not GLAPAR. See what you can talk apart from GLAPAR. That is where you will be highlighted. When I say that is where you will be highlighted, GLAPAR everybody talks, including fresher talks very confidently on GLAPAR. As an experienced candidate, you are also talking on GLAPAR. Why I will go with you as an experienced candidate? When I see that a fresher is also able to talk. In fact, fresher is talking better than you. So the moment whosoever says I know only GLAPAR, majoritarily you may not get selected. Majoritarily you may not get selected if you talk GLAPAR. Instead, there are so many other things. Talk about cash, talk about banking, talk about assets, taxation, integrations. You have cost center, cost element, month end, year end, cutover. Different points are there which we have not listed yet. Those points, when you talk, you will gain the positive opinion or you will get positive feedback. Otherwise, typical, the SAP profile. When I said typical SAP profile, maximum profiles are coming to the HR, to the panel member with the same mindset. Whatever you tell, they tell only the config, they tell only the T code and all. They say, no, I've not worked on it. They understand, okay, we will get back to you. Meaning you're rejected. Why rejected? because of different factors. Those factors which are resulting negative impact in the interview, negative impact in the project with the client, you should be very, very careful with those areas. When you're careful with those areas, what will happen? Definitely, whatever you talk will make more meaningful meaning. When I say it will make more meaningful impact approach, the other person feels comfortable with you. Though you may not be able to understand, though you may not be able to configure immediately, but yes, you are able to understand what I'm talking. You are able to understand what is my business process, what is my requirement, and you are able to convince me back. And whatever you're talking is fair enough for me to understand related with my business process, with my organization. I am fine with you. Everybody knows configuration is a copy paste activity. Tomorrow, if I tell you need to configure this functionality, I don't want you to remember, I don't want you to by heart everything. Instead, based on the business requirement, if you are able to configure the system, if you are able to deliver the system to me, I am fine with you. I don't want to expect, or I don't want you to do it, or I don't want you to tell me at the time of our discussion only. Nobody wants it. At the time of a discussion, everyone's intention is only to make sure you are able to understand. Everybody's intention is to make sure you are able to understand. And if you are able to understand, and if you are able to give some cross questions or ask for some additional clarification and all, other person feels that yes, this candidate is able to understand what I'm explaining. This candidate is able to understand what is my business process. Only then they'll be able to practically relate. Okay, and these fundamental points, when you hold while talking, while discussing with the other person, even though you are not good at configuration, still you will not face any problem anywhere, either in your interview or in your project. You don't find any difficulty because you are able to manage the business process, you are able to understand, you are able to communicate with confidence. If those are missing, nobody can help you. And if you focus on configuration will not teach you business process, configuration will not teach you confidence. All these kind of things will not come with config. But the moment you talk, the moment you discuss, understand about business process requirement, this requirement will automatically teach configuration to you. When I say this business process, this business requirement will teach you configuration by default. Reason, you know what you're going to work, you know what you're going to bring from SAP. When you do this setup or when you set up the SAP, you know that this is the business requirement, this is the client requirement. After I maintain all the configuration, this is what is expected. This is what my client wants to see, this is what my user wants to see, my business wants to see. Then you know that what you have to test. You know what you need to test. Accordingly you are going to set up, accordingly you are going to create the test cases, test script, and then check the system from your point of view first, which is nothing but unit testing. There you are going to understand, okay, whether it is working fine or not. As a consultant, if you are unable to decide whether system is working fine or not, then who is going to decide? For this purpose only, there is something called system landscape. When you talk about this, we will talk in detail. There's something called system landscape. When you're talking about system landscape, you basically represent development, quality, and production. We are representing development, quality, and production. In development system, what will happen? In quality system, what will happen? In production system, what will happen? What exactly you have to do? If you are not aware of these things, and if you are straight away doing the configuration, all these things blindly, you'll never understand between these things. You'll never understand your role, your limitations in each system, in each stage, in any project. If these points are not clear, meaning your work structure. When I say your work structure, tomorrow when you become a consultant, what exactly going to happen? What is the requirement and how you have to work? And to what extent you need to go, to what extent you should not go. There are so many limitations, there are so many restrictions when you become a consultant. When you're practicing, you are free to do anything, you are free to make any experiment, any entry, anything is possible. But the moment you are a consultant in any project, many limitations will be around you. When I say many limitations, you are not free to do whatever you like. You're not free to do whatever you like, then how I will do what I want to do? There's nothing called your choice there. Your choice is only when you're practicing. Your choice is only when you're practicing because it is your practice company code. While practicing the system, while practicing SAP FICO, most of us don't have anything in our mind. Blindly we create the setting, blindly we post the entries, blindly we pull the report. Everything is blindfolded, meaning there's no requirement in our mind. This is what I want to do. I am creating this setting, expecting this result. Nothing like that. Okay, in the class, trainer taught me this thing. I will also repeat it. Your trainer created 1, 2, 3, 4. You're also creating 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 numbers are there. I'll also take 4 numbers. Okay, double one, double one, double two, double two, 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 8, 4, 8. Something like that you are creating. Why? Nobody knows. I see 4 numbers here. I am creating 4 numbers here. For everything that you're creating in SAP will have a logic. Whatever you're creating in SAP as a configuration, as a setting, will have a logic. This logic only a consultant can understand. Not anybody can understand. Not everybody can understand. Only consultant can understand. Now you're representing yourself as a consultant. You need to know the consulting skill set, consulting basics. Only then you come to the SAP FICO, what settings are there, what topics are there, you see later on. But first thing, make sure you have that consulting skill set, that consulting mindset, that consulting qualities are there with you. Alright? Not anybody can become a consultant. That is why everybody is not becoming a consultant. If that is the case, the way anybody can become an end user, in the similar way, not anybody can become a consultant. If you see, anyone can become SAP FICO end user. In P2P side, in OTC side, in R2R side, in GL side, in reconciliation side, in BRS side, in cash application, whatsoever. In short, anybody can become SAP end user, but not anybody can become SAP consultant. There is a huge difference between a user mindset, consultant mindset. User work scope, consultant work scope are completely different. There are people who don't know ABC of SAP FICO. They're still SAP FICO end user. They're still SAP FICO end user. They have not got any training from anywhere. They don't know anything. They are becoming SAP user because SAP user does not require any skill set. If you know about the basic fundamentals of that particular functionality, that is fine. There is a requirement related to AP. If you know what is accounts payable, fine, you are fit for the job. There is a requirement for banking. If you know what is banking, BRS, all this kind of thing, you are fit for that job. But if you know banking, if you know AR, if you know AP, everything, you are still unfit for consultant because consultant doesn't only talk about the topic, it talks so many things beyond that. It is about so many things beyond your configuration. Make sure those points are something which you cannot practically practice on the system. That is where many people will fail in the interviews. That is the reason many people will fail in the interview because they have only the subject in their mind, nothing else. What is accounts payable? What is accounts receivable? What is GL? What is asset? What is integration? What is automatic payment? What is dunning? These kind of things they know. But how you use it, how you get the requirement, if you go from a project point of view, real-time point of view, consultant work scope perspective, they are not aware of it. Most of them are not aware of it. That is the reason if you take the people who are attending interviews, if you look at the percentage of the people getting selected, getting the jobs is very, very less. Very, very less. Why it is very, very less? Why not everybody is getting the job? There are so many things that is to be considered. Not at the end, at the beginning itself. When you consider at the end, there's no point. Again, it will lead to so many unnecessary confusion. In your mind, subject is there, but with a different logic. Now you need to revise the subject with adding different other logic. In this process, you are going to get a lot of confusion. Everything is a confusion. In this process, you are going to get a lot of confusion or everything is a confusion. Please make sure these confusions you are going to avoid it. How you will avoid it? You need to avoid it with the help of practical scenarios or the practical work scope that is there for a FICO consultant in any project, so that you will relate it. Okay, this is how I need to work in a project. This is the thing that I need to do it from my side. This is the thing I need to get it from my client. If it is not clear, I need to go back to the client. What I need to ask, how I need to ask, how I'll understand. If I face any problem during my configuration, what I'm going to do. Can I directly go and Google it? Can I go and watch YouTube video directly? Can I refer your notes directly in my project, in my office? No, you cannot do it. Then how I need to manage it? This points is what you need to understand. When you're clear with these points, these fundamental, automatically you'll be aware, okay, this is not the way that I have to work. This is not the way I need to manage. I need to manage in a different way. I need to work in a different way. Accordingly, you need to handle your work. Else, this is going to be really difficult. I may be sounding negative. I may be creating fear, but this is the fact. If you find that this is something, no, not as what we are expecting, but this is what market is expecting, not I am telling you to do this. It's easy for me to tell, this is very simple. If you learn SAP FICO, you will get very good job, nice pay package will be there and all. Easy for me to talk, but that is not the reality in the market. When we know that that is not the reality in the market, it is better you know the realities, negatives, so that you will make sure you don't get into those those problems, those trouble. At least you can avoid them if you are aware of it. If you are not aware of it, you are welcoming every trouble, every problem. As much as possible, we need to avoid the problems, so that tomorrow when you're in the market, whatever you see around you, you can easily relate it. Okay, this is something that I'm aware of it. Okay, this is something that I know. Then you will feel comfortable, you will feel confident. Otherwise, you will be scared. You'll be scared that you want to give up SAP. You will be scared that you don't want SAP. You will go back to your job. Many people gets this opinion. Reason, they realize once they are in the market that this subject that they have practiced, that they have learned is not sufficient to get the job. At that moment, at that stage, you don't have time with you. At that stage, you don't have time with you because you need a job. You need a job. You need to get into some job, and it can be anything. You will come to a stage where any job is okay for me because all I need is money now. Now I need money. I need any job. Even if it is not related to SAP FICO, I'm okay with it because you are slowly losing hope. You are slowly losing confidence. You are getting demotivated because you have invested your money, you have invested your time, and then you practiced thoroughly. You put all your effort, whatever is possible. But when you're in the market, your skill set, your subject, your knowledge is not giving you the job. Why? Whatever the subject that you have, whatever the effort and all that you have put is not aligned with the market requirement. When it is not aligned with the market requirement, definitely nobody will be okay with you. That is not the market problem, that is your problem. Why your problem? It is your mistake, not knowing what is expected in the market, not knowing how you need to learn the subject, not knowing what you have to learn, how you need to talk, these fundamentals, business process, whatsoever. You are not aware of it during your training. You are not aware of it while practicing. You came to know only when you attended your interview, only when you start receiving from the interview calls. Everybody is not selecting you. Everybody is not shortlisting you. You are attending interview. First round you are able to manage, but in second round you are getting rejected, or in the first round itself you are getting rejected. Your profile itself is not getting shortlisted. When these things are happening, definitely anybody will be disappointed. When these things are happening, definitely anybody will be disappointed because this is not what was your objective when you learn SAP FICO. Your objective was different. That is the reason I asked at the beginning itself. Anybody is learning only for time pass. Anybody is learning because somebody is forcing you. Maybe your friends, family, your relatives, brother, sister, anybody is forcing you. Do something, learn at least SAP FICO. If you are coming to learn SAP FICO with somebody's force, or by looking at somebody, he learned, he got the job, I will also learn, things are not going to happen. You are going to waste your money and then time. This is something that you should join only if you are serious about making a career in SAP FICO. Otherwise, you can simply ignore it at the beginning itself. At least you will save your time, your money. You can invest your time and money in something else. Because it is not so easy that you complete your course, you get the job. Not going to happen. Unless you put your efforts in a right way, unless you know the subject in a proper manner, things are not going to work out. It's not that anywhere it is SAP FICO, FICO is a FICO, not like that. It is not like that. Because when we are new to SAP, when we are new to FICO, we will have a lot of assumptions in our mind. He got the job, why I can't get the job and all. There are different things in the market. When I say there are different things in the market, there are points like proxy interview. Anybody heard something called proxy interview? Anybody heard something called proxy?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? There are many people in the market who will do the proxy. Proxy is nothing but you complete your SAP FICO course, you invest your time, you invest your money, you practice, you prepare, you attend the course for 3 months, 6 months, and so on. And then when it comes to interview, you are not confident to give the interview. Meaning, whatever the subject that you have, you are not capable enough to talk, answer the questions by an interviewer. So what you will do, you will go for a proxy. When you go for a proxy, people will say that, okay, I will charge this much amount for attending interview. I'll charge this much amount for clearing the interview. Meaning, for example, some X person is giving a proxy interview. The X person will tell that, okay, I'll attend your interview. So this is a different complete setup. It's a big, chain in the market. And those who are getting diverted, manipulated, or those who are planning, or those who are expecting proxy support and all, you can skip my sessions at the beginning itself, because I'm not going to support in any of these areas. If anybody is having these kind of expectation and all, you can stop attending my sessions right from beginning itself, because you are not going to get any support. I don't even talk about those things. Okay, it's only the subject that I'll give it to you, with which you can manage anywhere in the world. When somebody is giving you the proxy, they'll charge some amount, and this amount that you're going to pay for the proxy is higher than what you're paying for your course. Is this statement correct? People who charge for proxy interview is higher than the training amount that you're going to pay. Is my statement correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Correct,
Right?
sir.
You will be paying, let's say, 20,000. If you are with me, my charges are 20,000, and my duration is until you become a consultant. If it takes 1 year, with the same 20,000, I will teach you for 1 year. And if you need proxy support, you will have to pay more than 20,000 easily. Second thing, there is something called backdoor job. Second thing, there is something called backdoor job. There are so many people in the market who will provide the backdoor job. What they will do, you need to complete your SAP FICO course, and then instead of attending the interview, you are purchasing the job. You are buying the SAP FICO course, you are also buying the SAP FICO job. Alright? Can you buy SAP FICO knowledge
Never.
without your effort?
No,
No,
No.
sir.
You
no,
can
sir.
only buy SAP FICO course. Right? You are joining me only to gain the knowledge, not to buy the course. And whatever I'm talking, it will not straight away get into your money. It takes time. When I say it takes time, that is why it is difficult. That is why it has got good demand in the market. That is why people are paying high for SAP FICO or SAP consultant. If it is something that anybody can do it, the way user is getting, in the similar way, consultant will also get it. But it is completely opposite. Why? Meaning there are certain points there which we will never see it, because we're only looking at the top stage where you will get a job, where you will get all the nice benefits, you can go to different places, client locations, on site and all. But to reach to that stage, there are so many obstacles, there are so many hidden difficulties. Only when you see that these hidden difficulties, you will be able to plan accordingly. And when it comes to backdoor job, people will charge in lakhs for backdoor job. Is my statement correct? You'll have to pay in lakhs to get the job, to buy the job in short. If you want to purchase the job, you
Yes,
have to
sir.
pay in lakhs minimum. And it is usually, if you want or if you're expecting 10 lakhs package, you'll have to pay minimum 50% or 40% of the CTC. If you want 10 lakhs package job, if it is 40% minimum, 4 lakhs you'll have to pay. Is that correct? Those who are aware of it?
Yes, sir.
It is
Agree.
purely based on the package. Whatever the package that you are getting on your offer letter, on this offer letter, that package multiplied by some percentage, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Higher the package, lower the percentage, lower the package, higher the percentage. For example, 8 lakh job you want me to get you. I'm not going to take 20%. I'm going to say that you have to give me this much, or let's say some 3 lakhs you give, or 2.5 lakhs you give, and all this money you have to give in hard cash. You'll have to pay this amount in cash, no bank transfer, nothing. They clearly tell you, my responsibility is only to get you the job, send you to the office on day one. Day one, you are in the office, I'm not responsible. I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am. If you are losing the job, I'm not responsible. You are losing the job because of your skill set. You don't have the subject, you are unable to manage, you may lose the job. They upfront tell you crystal clear. Anybody is aware of it? Those who give you the job, they very clearly mention, I am not responsible for your subject. If you lose the job because of your performance issues, I don't know. I am not responsible for it. Anybody heard these points?
Yes, sir.
Meaning they are also not giving you any guarantee for subject. Nobody can give you guarantee for subject. You are supposed to be the person who is supposed to act in the project, in the organization. They can only send you to the organization by charging money, right? And then there is one more thing you call real-time job support or on-the-job support. This on-the-job support, real-time job support is again another thing that is available in the market. Let's say you get the job, you cleared your interview, you got the job. Now you find it difficult. You don't know, I have no experience before, I don't know how I need to manage. I will take some support. There are many people available in the market who will charge from 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month. Is this correct?
Yes, correct.
Right? They charge some 10,000. Starting price is 10,000. Again, there are so many, packages in it. 10,000 every month you'll have to pay, 20,000 every month you'll have to pay, 30,000 every month you'll have to pay, irrespective of the services that you're utilizing or not utilizing. You have to pay every month, and you'll have to pay 1 month advance at the beginning only. Non-refundable advance you'll have to pay. These things will have so many terms and conditions. Lot of terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are not even there in your job offer letter. Those many conditions will be there. At the end, your money is not refundable. That is the whole objective. You paid money, then gone. That's it. Forget your money. Now, why people are opting for these options? You know that you don't have the subject. You know that you don't have the subject. You realized that you cannot clear your interview. You're ready to pay money to get your interview cleared for the proxy. To get the proxy, you're ready to pay the money which is higher than your training cost. You're ready for it. Second point, that also is not working out. No, you say that, okay, let me go for a backdoor job. You're ready for paying lakhs for getting SAP FICO. You got the job through backdoor or any means. Now, there after getting the job also, you're not sufficient to manage the job. Again, you need support. Now, your knowledge, your subject is not helping you to get the job, to clear the interview. After getting the job, managing also, you're not able to manage. Now, with this subject, with this FICO knowledge, definitely one cannot survive for a long time. One fine day they will be sent out from the office, meaning they will be asked to, please you resign the job, you are not able to perform. That is the reason where you see most of the people losing their job. When somebody is losing the job, majority because of their performance, not because of their background verification and all. Even when your background verification goes negative, if you are performing well and if you have a very good feedback from your reporting manager, project manager and all, they will still hold back, because the moment you join any organization, you will be assigned to a project. The moment you join any organization, you will be assigned to a project. Once you are assigned to a project, what will happen? There is a dependency in the project, meaning work is dependent on you. Work is dependent on you. You must be introduced to the project team members and then the client. Now, to the client, they would have told me that yes, Ajay is the new FICO consultant who is going to manage FICO for you. Okay, client, I've been introduced with all the clients and all. Now I started working. Let's say it's been 2 weeks, it's been 3 weeks, it's been a 1 month, 2 month. Then something came up negative in terms of background verification or anything. Now, when the HR will come to know these points, when they ask your manager, they say that this is the situation. We've got a negative feedback from the BGV for Mr. Ajay. We have to take necessary actions or we have to do something. Then the project manager says, no, he is currently working in my project. There is a lot of dependency on him. Please hold him for next 3 months until my project is over. Though something is wrong, you are not touched. Nobody is telling you anything for next 3 months or next 6 months, even though they know about you. They came to know that verification is negative or some XYZ reasons are there. Why? Because there is a dependency of work. There is a dependency of work, and your project manager, your team member, or your users realized that Ajay is doing well. We want him. Ajay is doing well. We want him. Now your subject is only saving you. Your subject is only saving your job. Your subject is only allowing you to survive. And within this duration, if your performance is very good, your project manager or they will only tell, no, keep him, ignore it. Though your verification is and all negative, still you can manage it because of your subject. Everybody knows getting the right candidate for any organization in any project is very difficult in the current situation. Getting the right candidate, especially for SAP FICO, is very difficult. Why very difficult? Because most of the people are only aware of the technical parts of SAP FICO, configuration, T code, table and all. Functionality point of view, if I have to send you to a client location, I am not confident, because I know this candidate or this consultant may not be able to manage the client. When I'm not sure, why I want to keep you in my project, I try to take somebody who can manage the client. I'm not expecting you to do configuration and all. At least I'm expecting you to talk about the business process. When a client is raising some query and all, please talk, please open up and discuss them. Try to convince my client. I'm more than happy with you, no matter what is your background. But if those points you are not able to focus, you're not able to improve yourself on those areas, it will be difficult, no matter how expert you are on the subject. No matter how expert you are on the subject, if these points are missing in you, you will not be picked up. Even if you have been picked up, they will come to know very soon that no, you are not the right fit. They will release you from the project in between. They'll assign you to another project, or they say that one fine day HR will call you. They say that you have to please submit your resign. We are not happy with you. Some XYZ reason they will tell. They say that please resign. Meaning you have to submit your resignation. You have to leave the you are forced to leave the organization. Why people are asking employees to put the resignation by force? Because they are unable to perform. Their performance issues. You have been given an opportunity and you are unable to capitalize the opportunity. For an interview, until you get interview, you practice by heart everything. Once you get the job, once you get the offer letter, everything we will throw out. As if your academic exams are over, your 10th class is over, 7th class is over, degree intermediate is over. You throw the books in the air and then you go enjoy. Same thing is happening here. That is not going to practically work. The moment you get selected, you have to increase the way that you are practicing, increase the way that you prepared. It has to be more after getting the job, after getting the offer letter. It is supposed to be double, because that's where your actual game begins. Every day you have to go to office, you have to meet different people. You don't know who will ask you about what, which issue will come to you, which object they might assign to you. in which project they might put you, they may want you to go to client location, anything may happen. You have to be ready for everything. Now, all these things you cannot practice in your SAP FICO training. Not everything can be practically practiced on SAP. So far we are talking for this is day 4. I've not even logged into SAP. I'm not even shown SAP screen, but these are all the points. Only when you are aware, you are able to relate it. It makes practically possible for you to relate what I'm talking about SAP. What is exactly SAP, what you need to know, how you need to understand it. Otherwise, the way everyone, you are also the same. You have to take more initiatives. You have to put your effort more. If I teach you for 1 hour, if I tell you certain things for 1 hour or 2 hour, on those areas you'll have to practice, you have to explore more. And if that is not happening, no matter how long we are spending our time, we will not get the expected result. Right? Your self practice is supposed to be more. Your self exploring on the different things on SAP FICO is supposed to be more. Only then practically it is possible for you to get the job. Otherwise, forget about it. You will complete the course. You will not get the job. I'm telling you openly, you will complete the job, or you will complete the course. You will find it very difficult to get the job. Don't think that, okay, you're teaching very good and then you're explaining everything logically. When I'm explaining, it's a different thing. When you're practicing, it is a different thing. And you have to understand at the end. You have to understand at the end. For you to understand, it may take time, as I said, because of different reasons. It is again completely personalized. When I say this is completely personalized, you have to look at your current schedule. Whether you are currently working, you are currently not working, or what are your other commitments. Accordingly, you know that what is your mindset, whether you can focus on the subject peacefully without any stress, tension and all, or you are loaded with different other things. If I come home, many other works I have to manage many things in the office. I don't get time. I'm not getting time every day, or only weekends I'm getting time. You have to think about all these things. Don't think only, okay, course is 3 month, course is 4 month, every day 1 hour class, 1 hour I'll practice. Initially, first couple of weeks, first couple of months, it is fine. After that, you will start forgetting everything. Another point in SAP is, if you're not practicing, if you're not understanding logically, conceptually, you will forget everything. You will forget everything. Reason is you are practicing, you are preparing only the content of configuration, T code, table and all. That will not stay in your mind for long. Unless and until you are going ahead with the logic, you are not going to remember it for a long time. It's only short time. You add few things will disappear from your mind. You add some more things will disappear from your mind. Plus and minus is very, very frequent. You keep on doing plus to different topics from your mind, many things are doing minus automatically. Automatic plus, manually you're adding different topics by putting a lot of effort. I prepared this, I understood this, I practiced this, I studied this. Now automatically some things are being minus from your mind. This topic is gone, that topic is gone, this is gone, that is gone. You will be surprised why I'm not able to relate, why I'm not able to remember everything, because you're not remembering in a proper way. You're not understanding conceptually, logically. If you know the concept, if you know the logic, you don't need to by heart anything. Automatically you will talk. If you're remembering, if you're practicing by hearting, then only you have to find it difficult, because all of a sudden it will not strike your mind. Unless that point strikes, the subsequent points will not come out. One thing is stuck, everything is stuck. Common problem for most of the people in the interviews. Okay. Now, at the end, what you need to understand is accounting plays a crucial role here. When I say accounting plays a crucial role here, if you are good with the subject accounting, this accounting will make you feel very comfortable with your SAP FICO. In FICO, it's all about accounting. You need to accept the facts. In FICO, these are the course content which everybody is aware of. GL, APR, everything is part of basic fundamental accounting. Everywhere you have debit credit, everywhere you have debit credit. If you know this basic fundamental accounting in a proper way, easily you will understand SAP FICO. Most of the people, they do practice and all, but still they say that no, I'm not good at accounting. Then how you configured, how you posted entries, how you pulled the report, on what basis? Nobody knows. There are many people like that who say that I'm not good at accounting. Then how did you practice SAP FICO? How did you complete your SAP course? How come you're attending interviews and then you're telling you're not good at accounting? You're not sure, you're not confident, you don't know the accounting entries and all. I don't know which account will be debited, which will be credited. No, I don't know. Then you completed your course, you completed your practice, you practiced multiple company codes multiple time. Everything in SAP FICO is complete after posting the entry. Before posting any entry, you have something called simulation. On your simulation, you get a debit credit preview. Which account is debited, which account is credited. We are not even looking at it. We don't even simulate the entries. Most of the people who are learning, they don't even simulate the entry, debit, credit, control S, post. And the justification is this is data entry, end user will do it, we are not going to do it. That represents what kind of understanding you have, what is your thought process about SAP FICO. That mindset will never allow you to have proper consulting skill, that will never allow you to become a successful consultant. Those things will always pull you back because whatever is required, you are hiding them, you are ignoring them. If you know what points you'll have to understand, if you know what points you'll have to focus thoroughly, definitely there will be no difficulty in future. During learning only you should struggle, you should find it difficult. As your days progress, as you are coming towards the end and you start attending your interviews, you should feel things are relatable. Okay, I'm able to relate now. When I read the job description, when I talk to somebody else, I'm able to talk confidently because we need to accept the reality also. Currently, we are at a zero stage and we want to go to the market with 4 to 5 year of experience level. Within 3 to 4 months, gaining knowledge of 3 to 4 year, 4 to 5 year, practically impossible. For you, for me also impossible. When you know that this is practically not possible, you're not supposed to expect everything. You should know to what extent I need to focus. Don't dump everything in your mind blindly. When you know that there is content is huge and you are going to the market representing you are an experienced candidate, according to that, whatever is required, only those areas you highlight more. Practice more, prepare more, try to understand conceptually and all on selected areas. And then when you go to the market, you can present yourself in a better way. Otherwise, you don't know what is to be highlighted, what is not to be highlighted, what to talk, what not to talk. That will put you in trouble. It's not about completing the course, it's not about practicing. It is about so many other things that you have to know. If you know all these other things, then you will feel comfortable, then you will feel confident. By practicing SAP FICO, you will not get confidence. You will only feel, okay, this is very easy. That is overconfidence. You'll get confidence only when you know different other things about SAP FICO, which are the practical things, market realities, raw facts or ground realities. When you have this understanding, this knowledge, you will act differently, you will talk differently, you will behave differently, you will prepare. Everything will be different because you know the reality. If you don't know the reality, if you're in your imagination after SAP FICO, it's all colorful life and then I'm going to get a job, I'm becoming a consultant, no more financial difficulties and all. In fact, they'll be more doubled. All right. So these points you try to remember whatever we discussed now. In the tomorrow's session or in the next session, what we will do is we will elaborate each and every point. What is GL, what is AP, what is AR, what is there inside each, what exactly you have to do on these areas. We will understand in detail from the next session onwards. We will elaborate each and every point here so that you will have a basic overview. Okay, GL means this, AP means this, AR means this. Accordingly, you can decide whether you are able to relate it, whether you are able to understand or not. If you are able to relate, if you are able to understand, fine. If not, if you feel that no, this is something difficult, may not be suitable to me, you can take a decision to drop off at the beginning itself. Instead of paying money, completing a course, later on you realizing, if you realize at the beginning itself, it is more good for you because you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting your money. All right.
Sir, do we have class tomorrow, sir? Sunday?
Yes.
Do we have class, sir?
Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow we will take a break. Monday we will connect. So usually Sundays we will not
Okay,
have
sir.
this session. Yeah.
At
Okay, sir.
what time
Thanks,
it
sir.
will be?
Session is Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday at 7:30 a.m. IST.
Okay.
Okay. Fine then. So
So,
we'll
sir, this is Harish here. Sir, how to pay the fees, sir?
fees you can pay once the overview classes are over.
Okay.
I'll give the details once we complete the overview sessions. Then only you can
Okay.
decide to continue or not. At this moment, you don't need to pay any fees.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, this is Sindhu here. I have some questions that's related to my work. Can I call you after this session?
Give me some half an hour and then you can give me a call.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Fine then. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.